for another Talk About It Tuesday. And I got a great question, but it seems to be a recurring question. So either I'm not answering it to your satisfaction or in a way that you guys understand, or you guys just don't want to accept it. So it's a slightly different spin on the question. I'm going to keep driving the same points home until you get it. There has to be a mindset shift in how you view the economy, how you view income, how you view everything you've ever learned about making money. Because everything, I promise you, everything you ever learned about making money is obsolete today. So I'm going to read the question so I don't goof it up, but I'm going to give you an answer. I'm going to drive the point home, and hopefully you guys give me some feedback and let me know if you get it. All right, so here's the question. I have no retirement plan. I'm working on a budget and will put money towards a 401k from my new job. Is there anything else I can look into other than real estate? I do have a 3-year plan to open up my own practice, but for now, I feel I need an accelerated program. So that's the question. First things first, I think we have to rethink and reimagine what retirement is. And traditionally, retirement has been the end of working because you either no longer are capable or no longer enjoy doing what you do, right? And so people hit a certain age and then they will retire. So we have to go back in time because what we think of as retirement, meaning sitting home and getting an annuity or Social Security or some type of income that will carry us in the latter days of our lives and be able to support us, is a relatively new thing. Traditionally, before major urbanization and industrialization, you didn't quite retire, you transitioned. And so when you could no longer do labor, you still were integrated into your family. So you were part of your children's family and you helped to raise their children while they labored. Or you did things, you cooked and you cleaned, or you did other things that contributed to a household. So clearly, we don't live in an age like that anymore. Once we got urbanized and industrialized, and parents and children were separate, and there was a rush again to get children out of your house and become independent because having a lot of family became burdensome in an industrial age. Retirement became an issue, right? So what do you do? How do you support yourself once you're no longer capable of generating income? And so we have that concept. And again, that's post-Depression era. So really at the end of the Depression, we started seeing Social Security and, pension plans and all that stuff is post-Depression. So we're talking about from the 1930s and 40s and really the end of World War II, 1945 forward, that we really see this idea that we work till 65 or work till 62, then we collect Social Security. But we have to understand that when Social Security was created, you collected at 62, the average lifespan for an American was 65. And so it was something that you had to plan for 3 years. So retirement at that time and up until recently meant, okay, 62, I can no longer work. There's a plan for me. My pension can take care of me. Social Security can take care of me. An annuity like a 401k can carry me for 3 years. So let's fast forward to today. If you stop working at 62 and the average lifespan is now in the 80s, you got to plan for nearly 20 years of retirement. So to think that you'll be able to survive from a Social Security income, a pension plan, and an annuity, you're mistaken. So the first thing you have to do in considering retirement, if retirement for you means that, because for me, there is no retirement from passive income stream. So when you're financially free, you don't have to retire from anything. And the whole point of this group is to get you to a point where you're financially free. So what does, again, financially free mean? That your passive income streams cover all of your expenses. So there's nothing to retire from. There's no job to retire from. There's no labor to cease doing anymore. So first things first, you got to start making that shift. So you don't plan to work until you can't work anymore. You plan to work until and have an exit strategy until your passive income can cover all your expenses anyway. So it shouldn't be something that takes until you're 62, 65, or whatever. But if you're still stuck on that, and again, I keep trying to drive home, there's no retirement from passive income. Create the passive income now and build it to a point where it can cover all of your expenses. But if you are stuck on working because, I don't know, whatever reason, you're going to work all your good years until you're old and then try to enjoy life. And I talked to you before about the deferred life enjoyment plan, and I'm going to do a whole video on that again because some of you don't get that. You're deferring the enjoyment of your life until the old age, but that's whatever. So if you're on that plan and you are going to wait, and the person who wrote this is about my age, so you have about 15 years to basically traditional retirement age. In that 15 years, you want to know what you can do to earn enough income to last the next 35 years, 30, 35 years. Because if you live into your 80s, you retire at 65, you still have 20 years to plan for. So the first thing you have to do is really consider what your retirement needs are. And that's really having a vision of the life that you want to live. Since you labored all these years, what's the life you want to live in the golden years? Do you want to travel? Do you want to live in a nice home? Do you want to live, somewhere elaborate? Like, what do you want to do with your life? And you have to figure out what it costs to live that lifestyle. So a financial planner, which I hate financial planners, so sorry about you financial planners out there, but you just follow the same old script anyway, will tell you that you will need between 70 and 90% of your current income in retirement. And I say that's a load of crap, because if you live off 70 to 90% of your current income, that means you're going to cut lifestyle, because not only will you not be able to maintain your current lifestyle, it'll have to decrease because the cost of living will go up. So if the cost of living increases, then the amount of money you'll need can't be less than what you have now. And if you want to improve the lifestyle that you have because you have more time on your hands, you'll actually need more income. So I suggest that you need at least 150% of your current income to live the lifestyle that you deserve if you're going to work until you're 65 years old. So considering that, how do you start planning for that? Now, if you're going to have a job and you like laboring to make money, then get a little side hustle too, right? So, and take that money and put it towards, and not in a savings account, because a savings account can't beat the cost of inflation, right? So whatever you have to, and the way you make money from an investment is simple mathematics. You look at the rate of inflation. The return on investment has to beat the rate of inflation. So if the rate of inflation is 3%, you can't get 3% and make money from the money you're putting away, right? You have to get more than that. And you have to also account for taxes if it's earned income. So if it's 3%, you might need 5% to break even. So you want to get 6, 7. 7% is a good lucky number. I like to push for 10% return on investment, or I think it's a waste of your money's time, especially when you don't have that much time. 15 years is not a lot of time. And so if you're considering 15 years, most, again, financial planners would tell you to be conservative because you can't afford to lose. I say be aggressive because you don't have time. You don't have time. So 15 years, be aggressive. But the question was, what do I put the money in? We live in a world where the economic landscape is changing constantly and rapidly. And so there is no single fixed investment that you can put your money into. What's hot now? If interest rates are going up, peer lending is a great thing. They have peer lending for real estate. They have peer lending like the Lending Club and Kiva and Prosper. They have all these different ways that you can become a lender like the bank and make money. That's phenomenal right now, but will it be great forever? No, because things are constantly changing and evolving, and new investments are coming out constantly, and some are becoming obsolete. Again, I hate 401ks, and we saw why, right? Everybody who had money in a 401k in 2018, you lost every gain that you had made during the year, and you can't get it back. And so can you put your money in a 401k? Yeah, but that's like rolling the dice. So you're better off controlling your money in a mutual fund, right? Because certain mutual funds that invest in different things, some are doing well, some are doing poorly. There are certain stocks that are doing well, some that are doing poorly. There are certain businesses that are doing well, some that are doing poorly. And there are a lot of different ways to get into real estate. So I don't know exactly why you're opposed to real estate. You don't necessarily have to buy and hold. There are a lot of different ways to get involved in real estate. There are tons and tons of investment, but the point is you have to figure out how much money you need, pick and choose the investments that are going to make you the most money in the time span that you have. And you have to understand, you have to be flexible and you have to stay ahead of it. So you're not going to have a fixed investment for 5 years even, right? So our thing is 1 year and then check, right? 1 year and then check to trends and see if it makes sense to keep it there. And why do I say 1 year? Because we want to take advantage of capital gains tax. So long-term capital gains is far less than short-term capital gains. Short-term capital gains is whatever your earned income rate is, plus there's a premium on top of that to pay for Obamacare, or I should say American, to my Obamacare. So your short-term capital gains is going to be significantly higher than long-term capital gains. Long-term capital gains is much less. So we want to keep it there for a year and a day to take advantage of the tax rate, the tax break that you get for doing that. So don't think 10 years, 5 years, 15 years, 20 years. Think 1 year, re-examine, look at the economy, and there's no problem in moving that money around. So getting the idea of flexibility, not stability, getting the idea of, there's no retirement again from passive income. Start pushing towards passive income streams permanently now. And don't rule out anything. Just see what makes sense based on your personal needs. So I know people are looking for me to just do stuff for them. I'm not going to pick an investment for you. I'm going to tell you the principles of investing. I'm going to tell you the mindset you need. I'm going to tell you what things you need to look for. So again, rethink what retirement is. If you're going to do it the traditional way, consider what your retirement needs are, and then pick and choose from that perspective. How much money do I need? Has to beat the economy, meaning it has to beat the inflation rate. I have to be flexible and nimble. I have to keep an eye on it. I want to look at long-term capital gains as opposed to short-term capital gains. And you have to constantly educate yourself and constantly be in tune with what's going on with trends, what's going on politically, what's going on, globally. So, and look, when I have classes, take the classes. You'll do way better than just trying to watch a bunch of 10-minute videos. So, hope that answered your question. Maybe not the way you wanted it to, but that's the reality of things. Keep the questions coming, and I will talk to you next Tuesday.